Hi everybody, Dan Illman taking a look at race number 8 at Monmouth Park on United Nations Saturday. It's the Grade 3 Philip H. Iselin Stakes. We kick off the 20-cent Jersey Shore 6, a bet you can play with your own DRF Bets account. Please sign up at drf.com/bet and accept $100 in free cash. Let's take a look at this field. There are some salty horses entered, only a field of 7. 3 of these horses are millionaires. Now, a few of these horses are cross-entered in other spots. Maybe this race will change with scratches. But let's begin with the number 3, Paige McKenney, who's 8 years old. He's banked $1.8 million in his career, and he is one of the coolest horses in training. He just wants to win. He has won 22 times in his career and has been first or second 37 of 56 races. And he prepped for the Iselin last time out at Monmouth in the Grade 3 Salvatore Mile, and it looked like for a brief instant on the turn that the 2 pace setters were getting away from Paige McKenney and he was just going to be outpaced. But when they swung into the stretch, Horatio Caramano set down Paige McKenney and you could see the try. He refused to give up. He wore down those pace setters and he earned a 101 Buyer's speed figure. He is sharp. And just consider, before that race, his trainer Mary Epler said, I'm not sure his blood work's doing great. I wonder if Paige McKenney's really 100%. He still won that race with a big figure. It appears he's coming into the Iselin in even better form than the Salvatore Mile. And boy, he has a tremendous recency edge over his main competition. And that main competition is Imperative, a horse who was last seen winning the Charlestown Classic in 2017. 434 days ago. He fractured his pelvis. He missed the remainder of 2017. This is a very long layoff and a tough field to win, especially at 2-1 on the morning line. But when this horse is right, he can run. Just consider the horses he faced out in Southern California early in his career. Horses like Game on Dune and California Chrome and Shared Belief and Bayern, and in many of those races he was simply overmatched. He actually runs his best at Charlestown. He just simply loves that bullring configuration, but I also think he likes the slightly deeper courses on the East Coast, as seen when he won the Poseidon at Gulfstream Park 3 starts back over a talented horse in Stanford. We haven't seen him in almost 500 days, but that was a very live edition of the Charlestown Classic. Matt King Cole, the runner-up, came back to win the Mountain View at Penn National with a 102 Buyer. War Story came back to win the prestigious Brooklyn with a triple-digit Buyer speed figure as well. If Imperative is ready, he's going to give Paige McKenney all he can handle. He certainly has the class to win a race like this. You just have to wonder how sharp the connections are going to have him coming into this race off a long layoff. Harlan Punch is a really intriguing runner for trainer David Jacobson, who has entered 2. Both of those horses have positive formulator facts. Let's begin with Harlan Punch. Over the past 5 years, with older dirt routers coming off a 45 to 60 day layoff, Jacobson wins at a 30% clip with a $2.89 ROI. And earlier this year, this horse reeled off 3 consecutive big races at Aqueduct, distances ranging from a mile to a mile and a quarter, all wins, Buyers ranging from 99 to 105. Since then, his performances have been subpar. Last time out in the flat-out stakes, maybe he was overmatched by a nice horse in hard study, but he just had a nice easy lead and he caved in badly. The pace projector believes that Harlan Punch is going to get a nice easy trip again. In a situation that favors horses on or near the early lead, in a race where you got a horse coming off of a long layoff and another horse, Paige McKenney, that's going to be coming from behind over a course that usually favors front runners. Harlan Punch, if he can find his form from the winter and into the spring, is a dangerous pace threat in this spot. We do see that the number 6 hit it once more. One of the horses cross-entered at Belmont. He's cross-entered on Sunday. He could provide a little bit of pace if this is where trainer Gary Siaka opts to go. This horse won a state-bred stake over a muddy track back in February, and since then against open competition hasn't really come close. On his very best day, Hit It Once More can win a race like this, but in a situation where he has to push Harlan Punch on the lead, I wonder if that would leave him susceptible to the closers and stalkers like Paige McKenney and Imperative. Jacobson has also entered Red Rifle in here, but be cautioned that he is also cross-entered at Belmont on Saturday. Red Rifle has earned $1 million in his career, but you have to wonder where his form is. Jacobson claimed him for $100,000 last September and was willing to lose him for $40,000 last time out, in a race in which he chased a fast pace and then ended up tiring to finish last. We do have a positive formulator fact if this horse runs here. Over the past 4 years, with older horses making their third start off the layoff and moving from sprint to route on dirt, Jacobson wins 27% and a $2.59 return on investment. Red Rifle's going to have to call upon all of his back class because his current form is simply lacking. The number 1 Enough is Enough might be an intriguing long shot. He is an uncoupled stablemate of Paige McKenney, and I think he was compromised by a lack of pace last time out at Laurel. Look at those fractions, 25, 50, and this horse was trying to come from last. It really didn't work out with that sort of situation. His prior race was a winning effort at Pimlico, but was only with a 77 Beyer speed figure, and he's going to have to run a lot faster to win a race like the Iselin. The number 2, Backside of the Moon, is getting some class relief. He was in against Opportunity in the Brooklyn, and let's just throw that race out. He was 50-1 and was completely overmatched. His prior efforts are okay, although Harlan Punch hammered him in the Stymie 4 starts back by 7 lengths. On his very best day, Backside of the Moon could easily hit the board in a race like this, and again, as I mentioned before, he's getting a little bit of class relief. I've just never thought of him as a true graded stakes horse. Let's take a look at my pick in the Iselin, and you might be surprised because horses like this really aren't kind of my cup of tea. Horses coming off 434-day injury-induced layoffs, but I've always been a big fan of Imperative, and I have a feeling he's going to be set to go off the layoff. You have to respect Paige McKenney every time he runs, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's there. He's a horse I think you have to use in multiple race wagers, and Harlan Punch could be dangerous, especially if the 6th, the other speed, scratches. 4-3-5 for me in the Grade 3 Philip H. Iselin, kicking off the 20-cent Jersey Shore 6. You can bet this great Monmouth card on Saturday with a new DRF Bets account and the $100 in free cash that goes along with it. Learn more at drf.com/bet. Approximate post time for the Iselin, 4:23 Eastern. Good luck.